Without further ado, let me introduce with great pride a friend, a member of our board of directors, and a friend of many of you, 6ABC Marketing Director, Mike Monsell.
Hey, test. Oh, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for coming. Couple house cleaning notes. I did not have a run through, so this is live projection, whatever this is. If I make a mistake, please forgive me. Want to have a quick shout out. Special guest for me. My former boss came. He's still checking up on me, even in retirement. Bernie Presenica, right there, a Hall of Fame member of the Broadcast Pioneers. He wanted to make sure I show all of his favorite commercials. So what we're going to do today is we're going to show you some old commercials. Hopefully you'll recognize some of them. And if there's any stories to go along, I'm going to share those as well. I will take questions at the end, but if you have a question that can't wait till the end, feel free to stand up and we'll find a microphone for you. So without further ado, let's get started. I'm going to sit. I'm not really a standing kind of guy. But first I want to start with this first slide. Does anyone know the difference between advertising and promotion? She sort of does back there. So at 6ABC, we were called the promotion department, but we always tried to do advertising. Promotion is more tactical. It is looking to the next thing. It is watch this, listen to this. Advertising is more long tail. It's branding. It's affinity. And we at 6ABC, we do tactical advertising. We do promotion. We try to get you to watch the show tonight or the news tomorrow. But our image spots have always been more focused on how can we get folks to watch tomorrow and the next day and the next month, as opposed to just watch now. And so we're going to go through this. By the way, if you want me to hear fingernails on the chalkboard, say promotions. You don't need the S, folks. It's already plural. Promotion is plural. We're going to get right to what everybody wants to talk about. There goes that Action News van. I was not at 6ABC when this started, but I will tell you that I would argue that this ad, which turned into a campaign, is the most successful local television branding campaign in the history of American television. It was borrowed and stolen by numerous stations, mostly within the Cap Cities ABC networks, but stations all over the country did it. But to my knowledge, we're the only ones who actually tried to carry it on and keep it alive. And we know we need to do that because we hear all the time. When we meet people out in the street, they want to talk about the theme music and they want to talk about there goes that Action News van. So why wouldn't we want to keep that going? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the original spot. It was a spot that I'm sure the producer had no intention of it becoming this gigantic thing. It was actually called Home Movies. It wasn't called There Goes That Action News Van again. The title of the spot was Home Movies. It was written by a guy named Mike Davis, who did many commercials for 6ABC over the years. He was a freelancer. He didn't work for us. But let's see if I can get this thing to play.
Okay, Ethel, you want to hit the lights? Great. Now, here's our first stop in Philadelphia. That's Independence Hall, and there's Ethel and the kids, and, that's just a TV news van going by there. Oh, now here's Ethel and the kids on the Art Museum steps. And, there's another one of those news vans again. Oh, there's Ethel eating one of those soft pretzels. Oh, now we took a ride up to the state capitol for a day, and I got a great shot of that news van again. Oh, now here we are going to Atlantic City. This is great.
Nobody covers the Delaware Valley like Action News.
And, there's that news van again.
So that feels really old, but I think that was done sometime in the late 80s. I'm not sure. Maybe Paul would know. But again, many copied this, but very few kept it going. And the next 10 minutes or so, I'm going to tell you how we gave our best attempt to keep that campaign alive. So this next spot, in 2004, I'd been there about 5 years, and we were getting a lot of pressure to do a new spot. And in 2004, the big story, if you guys remember, was the Mars rover, that we sent that little truck to Mars, and it was showing nothing but wasteland. And I happened to be walking through the news studio while we were doing a story about the Mars rover, and Steve Sachs, and you guys know Steve Sachs, he was the floor manager, and he said to me, "Hey, Mike, you think the rover will see our news van on Mars?" And I just stared at him like, oh my God, that's an idea. Steve Sachs wrote this promo.
Monkey rover. We've got a clean signal of the Martian surface. You'll see some... Wait, we've got a... I don't believe my eyes. There goes that Action News van again. Unbelievable.
And shortly after that, going to share some backstories with you. I was watching a movie called Pushing Tin. Anybody see the movie Pushing Tin with John Cusack and Billy Bob Thornton, I think? I was watching it, and it was a story about how stressful being an air traffic controller is. And I was like, it's probably pretty stressful to be a news van traffic controller, too.
This is 6 Alpha Bravo Charlie. Do you copy for approach vector?
Go for V29.
Please reduce velocity to 45 on 676.
Copy that, 676.
How are we doing? We'll have them lined up like the L train before you finish that coffee, which, by the way, smells great.
You want one?
Yes. Victor 7, I got your approach at 11.5.
Entering now.
I thought you were covering Jersey.
PA, Jersey, Delaware, we're everywhere.
D7, go R1 south and follow the rest of the fleet. It's a beautiful sight.
There goes that Action News van again.
Many of you will recognize that last shot, City Avenue. It was awesome being out there at 2 a.m. in the morning shooting. You saw like 20 news vans. We did that with 2 news vans, and we just rotoscoped them in. Now we're getting to some of my favorites. This next one was a spot that we did in 2015, and it was a script that I wrote in 2006. This was the most ambitious commercial we've ever done. It was the most fun I ever had doing a commercial, and it was also the most stressful. Basically, well, let's just watch.
Okay, behave yourself.
Relax, Dad. Bye. Let's do this.
Oh, yeah.
Go!
Yes!
So what do you think? Nice.
The food was really good, and what the?
That's awesome! Oh, wow! I love that! Dun, 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 dun! There goes that news van again. Rock on!
So the next hurdle we came up with when we decided to do another news van spot was our news vans aren't news vans anymore. They're SUVs. And we're like, how can we do a there goes that Action News van when they're not vans anymore? So one of the themes we're going to talk about today is when we have a hurdle or something that we could be construed as negative, or we lean into it. And that's what we did with this spot.
Look, it's the Action News van!
No, that's not the Action News van.
Yes, it is.
No, it is not.
Yes, it is. It may look different, but it is indeed the Action News van.
Okay. Does it go everywhere?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, anywhere?
Yep.
Just like those Action News vans?
Just like those Action News vans.
Will people still say, there goes that Action News van?
You just did. Oh.
There goes that Action News van again.
You'll always be my favorite. No offense.
So next we're going to go into a different... We're done talking about the Action News vans. If you have questions about that, we can take them at the end. But now we're going to lean into commercials. These are not promos. These are advertising commercials. And the first one I'm going to start with is a commercial we called Make a Date with 2 actors here. And I told you I had some stories. One of the great stories here is this was actually written a decade earlier by a guy named Paul Greeley, who's here. That's Paul back there. When the spot, when he wrote it, it wasn't internet dating. It was just a dating spot. And when we got it done, the producer, as a courtesy, said, "Hey, Paul, I just want to let you know that we did your spot you wrote 10 years ago, and it's 6 ABC's doing it. Here it is." It's actually really good. Very cute spot.
How could that website have matched us up?
No idea.
I mean, I like steak.
Vegetarian.
And you love cats.
You don't?
Talk about computer error.
Well, good night.
Yeah. Well, at least I can still catch Action News.
Action News? I love Action News.
Really?
Yeah. You want to come up and watch?
Sure.
How about some coffee?
Do you have any tea?
No.
Make a date with Action News.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's Dean. He was actually in the commercial.
Hello.
You recognize this guy?
My
co-actress. We're happily married. We watch Action News every night.
Thank you, Dean. Thank you, Paul. Okay, so this next one is the most beautiful backstory. It's like 15 years ago. I got a call from my GM, Rebecca Campbell, and she starts with, Mike! And anybody who knows Rebecca, if she screams your first name, you know she's telling you something important. Mike! I just left my son's 3rd grade chorus. Whatever. They played this song. You gotta find it. I'm like, okay. And then this was born. Cute, and one of the things I have a problem with in broadcast TV is, you know, managers always like, you got to put the logo in more, you got to say the product, you got to tell us, you got to tell us, you got to tell us, and Bernie will attest to this. I would push back always, and like, if you do a compelling 30-second ad, you only need the last 3 or 4 seconds if it's really good. I mean, think about Geico. You remember every single one of them, and that was just a really cute ad. And we gained about 7,000 new followers that week because every kid in that spot has a parent and a grandparent and an aunt and an uncle, and they all wanted to see this commercial. We did a reboot of that during the pandemic. I don't know if any of you remembered. With some of these kids, they were seniors. We were going to do a complete reboot of this when these kids were all seniors, and we were going to do it shot for shot. And then the pandemic happened, so we couldn't do it. But then we did have them do selfies. Okay, this next one, hopefully you can hear it. The speakers are really loud, or not very loud. This is a radio spot that we created, and I'm just going to play it for you.
Big story on Action News tonight is the latest.
Just when we thought it couldn't get worse, it has.
Let's go to Storm Tracker 6 Live and show
heavy
you
snow.
it's coming down so fast. But next
remember
week,
this, when we tell you it's going to snow, it's going to snow.
What if we add video and make it a TV spot? So I found this stock footage video of a dog living his best life in the snow. So tell me if it's better with the video.
Big story on Action News tonight is the latest.
Just when we thought it couldn't get worse, it has.
Let's go to Storm Tracker 6 Live and show
heavy
you
snow.
it's coming down so fast. But next
remember
week,
this, when we tell you it's going to snow, it's going to snow.
Here's my question, Mike. All the promotion and commercials on Channel 6 are creative and interesting to some degree or another, but I'm assuming there must be a shelf life for these this stuff. And what criteria do you use to kill one of the promotion or a advertisement?
We're in the station all the time. When we get sick of a spot, seeing a spot, then we give it about another 6 months and then we kill it, because we do know that we have TVs in our office, so we see every second of our air. If I'm sick of a spot, the viewers probably only saw it maybe 10% of the time that I did. And also, if it's good, we keep running it. If it's mid, not so much. And I was telling someone earlier, if there's an actor in the spot, Dean knows this, we negotiate up front, like, this is good. We own you for a year, we own you for 2 years. I used to always go for 2 years, hoping the spot was terrific, could run for 2 years. But lately, most actors don't want to be bought out for more than a year. So I don't know if that's the answer you're looking for, but the answer is basically, it's all in gut feeling. Let's see what we got next. This was a really fun commercial. This started as a guerrilla stunt. We were just going to put this sign down in Love Park and just have people write stuff on us, and then magic would happen. And as we were doing pre-production, I realized this is actually going to be a commercial. It was the most difficult one-day shoot we ever had because the weather gods did not cooperate. Most of the stuff you're going to see here was fake TV magic. We worked around the weather. But for those of you who remember this was quite a production. But that shot there, we shot that first because we knew that the storms were coming, and we needed this shot. Joy's like, I know about that. We shot this, but they're looking at nothing, and they're cheering. It's great.
Everybody ready? Let's go! Let's go!
What do you want to write on the board here? You guys rock!
I'm
so excited!
That's great, that's great. Here we go.
#1 in the Delaware Valley.
Thank you, weather fan.
You're like my familia, my family.
We love this!
The best of Philly.
Action news in the morning! Let's see what we got. Yes!
Color your day brighter with Action News Mornings, only on 6ABC.
The scrim, the stencil that they ripped away, that took months to figure out how to make that work. It looks basic and like, oh, they tore it away, and we actually created very small stencils like the size of a poster board and just practiced these things for months trying to figure out how to get that. That was a fun one. Does anyone here know the 3 theories of comedy? What makes something funny? Anyone know one of the 3? Go ahead, Lee. What? Timing? Nope. First theory of comedy. This is what makes stuff funny. I studied comedy in college. That's why I'm so funny. The first theory of comedy is the relief theory. The relief theory is when the anvil hits Wile E. Coyote on the head, it's funny because it's not you getting hit in the head, it's somebody else. That's the relief theory. Second theory is, for those of you in the room who remember the Three Stooges, they're dumb and wacky, and I'm not dumb and wacky, so they're funny. That's the superiority theory. And the third theory is, and the reason I thought of this, was incongruity, which is my favorite theory of comedy. You think you're seeing something, but then you're not. And that's what's funny. And this has a little bit of that in it. So for this commercial, I knew we needed Jim Gardner and Gary Papa at a party talking. I didn't know why they were there, and I didn't know what they were talking about, and I certainly didn't know what they were doing with themselves or their hands or whatever. And the biggest curveball of all curveballs is when I was talking to Jim about this, he said, well, why don't me and Gary be playing video games? I didn't have that on my bingo card. Jim Gardner wanted to play a video game in a commercial. So hopefully I'm queued up. Does anybody remember this one?
So tell me again how powerful this thing is. 83 pounds of torque, 675 horsepower.
Is it fast?
Yeah.
How fast?
Is flying down the expressway at 140 fast enough for you?
Yeah, but what's it look like?
Coming soon, Chopper 6 HD. High definition, crystal clear coverage with or without an HD television. Chopper 6 HD. Coming soon to Action News.
What about gas mileage?
Not good.
Classic incongruity. You think they're talking about cars? I will never forget this spot because I was about as sick as I possibly have ever been sick. I remember we debuted it in the Super Bowl. The Steelers, the Seahawks? The Seahawks-Steelers Super Bowl. I was so sick I didn't even watch the game. And so there you go. That was fun though. Okay, now we're going to get into our bread and butter. What makes us really different is live action commercials starring our people, which is very, 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 very hard. That's why most TV stations don't do it. There's a fine line between cute and campy and cool and cringy. And a lot of these stations, I hate to say this, a lot of small market stations like to do this kind of stuff. But if you don't have a great director and perfect lighting and great cadence and perfect timing, and Joy's like, yeah, I know. These things don't work, and you're going to make your town look terrible. So we're very careful about what situations we put our people in. But this is what makes our station different. And other stations can't pull this off. This one is one of my all-time favorites, top 5. Like I said earlier, when we hear things that may be thought of as a negative, we lean into it. In research, do you guys know who Brian Taff is? He anchors our 6 p.m. news. When he came to the market, in research, people would say like, oh, his voice is too deep, I don't like it, some liked it, some loved it, some even said he's faking it, that's a stage voice. If you met Brian, it's actually deeper in person, I think. So we leaned into it with this commercial.
You sound like Brian Taff.
What do you mean?
Your voice.
Me? Brian Taff?
Yeah, you can't hear it?
I like Brian Taff.
Yeah, I like Brian Taff too.
So how long has this been going on?
What, sounding like Brian Taff?
Yeah.
Since I first heard him.
That's terrific.
It's lush.
It's clear. It's smooth.
It's deep.
That is so lit.
Word up.
Action News Brian Taff, the voice you know for news.
Hey, doesn't he sound like Brian Taff?
Brian Taff? I like Brian Taff.
Yeah, I like Brian Taff too.
That was really good. We shot all that in one house. We took this mega house, I think we were, I can't remember, but we turned the basement into a doctor's office, a coffee shop, and there was another scene that wasn't in this, but it was an incredible production. Okay, the next one, again, another situation where there was negative noise. A lot of people on the internet and the newspapers, trolls, were trying to create this narrative that Adam and Cecily didn't get along, or there was an ego feud, or whatever. And for those of you who know the two of them, nothing could be further from the truth. So again, we heard all this noise. Well, let's lean into it. But they do like each other, but they are competitive. So
Adam and I are pretty tight. He's like a brother.
But like many siblings, we're competitive.
Yes!
Oh, bogey. Hey, take a look at this photo I took of the sunset.
That's crazy. I painted the exact same sunset. But when it comes to the weather,
We're all about team.
Meteorologist Cecily Tynan, Adam Joseph, and the unbeatable AccuWeather team on Action News.
you want to race?
Sure.
Hey!
anybody recognize that trail? Anybody from the western suburbs? Conshohocken. Shout out to Tim Fenstermacher. He actually came up with the line of, I actually painted the exact same sunset. We weren't going to do it without, we needed a line. And when Tim wrote that, I'm like, okay, we got a spot. Okay, moving on to more modern times. You know, when Jim decided he was going to retire, he didn't just stop. He sort of leaned into it, and he said he wanted to come off the 11. So Bernie Presentica back there gave Rick Williams the job of the 11 p.m. news. And we weren't really sure how to approach this, but Troy Bauer, who was sitting back there in the middle, he actually wrote this. We decided that we just wanted to make sure everyone knows Rick 11, Rick 11, Rick 11, be repetitive. And Troy was scraping internet, social media, and he found this line and that line. He came to me and said, I have something. This is a cute spot. This is when Rick had been on the desk at 11 for a few months.
Jim Gardner was the face of Action News at 11 for decades, so taking over his seat is a huge deal.
Whoa, the new Mr. 11 p.m. Talk about pressure.
Oh. Rick Williams at 11. Those are big shoes to fill.
The 11 o'clock news? What a high bar.
But I'm honored to have earned your trust.
We love watching you.
I'm rooting for you.
You got this, man.
Woo!
Action News at 11, now with Rick Williams.
That seat suits you, Rick.
Perfect fit. Sure is.
Did anyone see Bernie there? Okay, when we get to the shoe store, Bernie, for years, never asked to be in a commercial. And when in the last few years he was GM, he was like, hey, can you get me in? And I said, sure. And like, you never know until you get to the scene where it works to have background. And all we could do is put him in the back. He's shopping. Okay, so from that spot, about a year later, Jim fully retired. And now Brian Taff is doing the 6 and Rick's doing the 11. So for the first time in forever, we have two different people anchoring our signature newscasts. And this is where it got real fun. Troy was on a heater, so he came to me with this idea of what happens when you split one person in half and make two people.
Action News at 6 and 11 have always been anchored by the same person.
But now that the role is split in two, things have gotten pretty interesting around here.
Hey, yep, come on, just doing a swish here. Okay, great, perfect, good.
Incoming. Swish. Oh, after you. Are you sure? I insist. Should we tell them they have their own desks? Thank you very much.
Action News at 6 with Brian Taff and Action News at 11 with Rick Williams.
This is Rick.
Brian.
That was cute. Again, those last two spots were written by Troy. I think I contributed the button line here, but pretty much just stood around and watched him do his work for this. Okay, this is our most recent image spot. This was scheduled to be shot in May of 2020. And if you remember what happened in May of 2020, nothing happened in May of 2020. We were all at home. So this spot almost didn't happen. But once we got back in the building and life went back to normal, I went to Bernie and said, hey, I really think this Williams spot could be special. And based on feedback, I've gotten a lot of feedback on this spot as being really special. Again, this is not a promo. This is advertising.
Robin Williams.
Vanessa Williams.
Mitch Williams.
Tennessee Williams.
Montel Williams.
Serena Williams. Can't say Venus.
Doug Williams.
Ricky Williams.
Hank Williams.
Pharrell Williams.
He has a last name? Lou Williams.
Billy D.
Get in the game with Rick and Shari, because you can never have too much Williams at 5 o'clock.
Sherwin Williams.
Really?
Come on, that's good.
So I promised that I would reveal the most impactful spot we've ever done. And that's hard to quantify because when we do research, you know, we test most of our spots and they're all great. But you can't really scientifically quantify what worked and what doesn't. But what I can tell you is once this spot hit the air, it was life-changing for the person involved. They would come into my office daily and say, it happened again. So here's the setup. Ducis Rogers, who was our sports director, was in the market for about 3 years. And if you work at Action News for 3 years, you should be a star. And the research was coming back that he was, you know, liked but not really well known. So we're like, we got to do a spot to elevate Ducis Rogers. So me and my team got in, we actually were in the link. We spent the day in one of those suites, just locked ourselves in rooms and we're coming up with an idea. And I said to my team, if you didn't know him, how would you pronounce his name? It's spelled D-U-C-I-S. How would you pronounce his name if you didn't know him? And someone on our team, Evan Cuttig, it was, I remember, he looked at me and said, Ducis. I said, that's brilliant, we have a commercial. This is the most successful commercial, in my opinion, that we've done while I was here. Obviously, There Goes That Action News Van, way better, but this is the best during my tenure.
People have been messing up my name since I was a kid.
Julie Reed?
Yeah.
Ducis Rogers?
It's Ducis.
Oh.
Over the years, I've heard it all.
Ducis?
No, it's Ducis.
Ducis. That's what I just said.
Now seems folks are getting the hang of it.
Hey, Ducis Rogers!
Oh, Ducis!
Oh, man, Ducis Rogers!
Ducis!
Action News Sports with Ducis Rogers. Unique name, unique take on sports.
By the way, you gotta love the little Michael Jackson jacket. We shot that both ways. We weren't sure if it was gonna be too much, but ultimately we decided to use it. I'm not kidding you. Ducis Rogers would come into my office daily when it's like it happened again. It happened at the barbershop, happened at the grocery store. People coming up. Sometimes they call him Ducis. Most often they call him Ducis or Ducis. And this went on for years. In fact, he came to me like 6 months ago. This spot hasn't been on the air for 5 years, and he said it happened to me again a couple of months ago. So, and Bernie can attest, after the spot aired, his numbers went way up in research. If you guys enjoyed what you saw here today, I strongly encourage you to go to YouTube. It's not hard. Go to YouTube, search 6ABC Philadelphia. And then within 6ABC Philadelphia, we have a tab called Classic Promos. All of these and more are on there. And if you're a real nerd like me, click on one of the behind-the-scenes videos. Some of these spots, we make 5-10 minute videos of the behind-the-scenes of what actually happened while we made these. That's my presentation. I do have a bonus spot that I can show you, but before I show you the bonus spot, do we have any questions?
Creative aside, because that's always the most important thing, what can you rank the top 3 elements of commercials that you've done? I'll give you examples. Like, is it having makeup? Is it having the right lighting? Is it hiring professional actors? What are the top 3 things you think make commercials so impactful?
I'll just give you one. You've probably heard the term emotional advertising. We were doing that before that was even a thing. Paul Greeley knows there's a lot of guys out there trying to sell seminars on emotional advertising, but our ads make you feel something. Most people who work in promotion or any type of advertising want to sell you something. Again, we do promotion where we sell, but I want our image spots to make you feel something. And most of those spots, I would say you guys were like, oh, I can relate to that, or I get it, or it's cute. If you feel something, you're endeared to the product, you're more likely to purchase it.
Thank you. You made a very quick mention that you test your productions. Without giving anything away, could you explain what that means to you?
Well, you worked in radio. You probably know there's various forms of testing. Old-fashioned focus group, you put 20 people in the room, you have a moderator, and you get them to talk about, show them the commercial, did you like it? I don't really like that because, I don't know, I think a lot of those focus groups are leading, and some folks are there just for the $100 paycheck, some of them, they just want to talk because they like to hear themselves talk. I mean, there's value in those focus groups. The other thing I preferred more was dial testing, where people, they'll watch the commercial and they'll give you a dial, they'll start you on 0. And if something happens you like, you turn to the right. If something happens you don't like, you turn to the left. And, you know, I feel like that was more of an emotional reaction as opposed to, hey, I want to talk about what I just saw. I will tell you that we have been very blessed. The company we use for research, we've had some spots that the research company said is by far the highest standard of excellence they'd ever seen. Again, I feel so fortunate that Bernie and my previous boss allowed me and my team to do these types of things, because I should do a seminar on how to sell this to your boss, because a lot of these ideas, like even when Troy came to me with some of his ideas, I'm like, I'm not sure I get it, but I trust you. You really need a trustworthy boss. These types of spots are hard to upsell, especially to a TV general manager. Bernie came from the sales side and became a GM, but I think in his DNA he was kind of a marketing guy, because that Yo Murph idea, that was one of a dozen that he said. He would never tell me to do anything. He'd just be down and say, hey, this happened. What do you think? Can we do this? And usually it turned out to be something really great. If our product isn't what it is, none of this makes any sense. And I'm not a television guy as much as I am an advertising guy. And if I worked at one of these other stations that Paul talked about that's formed, like, I'm not going to call out names, but some of these TV ownership groups, they make a spot in one market and they change it and they put it in other markets. And I used to always tell the litmus test we have is when Troy writes a spot, I say to him, if we change the town and we change the logos, can someone else do it? And if the answer is yes, we don't do it. Our spots are uniquely us. No one else can do it. Show of hands here. Tell me if these TV catchphrases mean anything to you. First on the scene. Most accurate. Most powerful radar. That stuff, there's no emotion to that. And every TV station in the country does that. Took me a few years to break Bernie. He was the most powerful radar guy for years. Consumers, they care, but it doesn't register in their psyche. So out of all those spots you watched, this was apropos. Troy, Mr. Creative here, I'm being replaced by my protege, which I'm totally fine with. So he came to us with this spot, which was apropos, because, did you guys hear there was a quincentennial called, I don't know what it's called. Have you guys seen this one yet? This is a classic 6ABC commercial.
Severe thunderstorms are rolling into Philadelphia with strong winds and lightning strikes.
It's go time.
Okay, it didn't happen exactly like that. But if Ben Franklin could have gotten the forecast from Action News, he would have. 6ABC, historically trusted by Philadelphians.
Isn't that terrific? Again, no hard sell. Just something you feel.
The Action News music, that was a big risk to take in order to introduce that newscast. Bam, bam, bam. Everybody knows it. And other, places did it. How did that affect your outlook with what the feedback was instantly?
To Bernie's point, this is a very unique television station. That music was used by countless stations across the country. I think the last station to hang on to was Fresno, maybe Buffalo, but no one else uses it anymore. Fresno just did a 75th anniversary special, and they used the music. Many of you know in 1996 we tried to alter the music, and I would strongly encourage you to go to YouTube after you go to our page. Google Mix of 96. We did a 10-minute documentary on the music when we tried to change it in 1996. We didn't cut it, we changed it. And recently I went to our staff and said, can you do a 5-minute video about that day? And what they came back with shocked me. It wasn't just we changed the music and we brought it back. There's a whole conspiracy, law and order, crime drama, all kinds of crazy bleep happened during that none of us knew about, that we really uncovered. A couple of our interns uncovered this. It's a 10-minute watch. It's really good. It's called Mix of 96. It's on YouTube. It's pretty fascinating. But to your point, I don't have an answer for you. Someone told me once, Philadelphians like what they like. That's pretty much it. Hey, Lee in the back.
Yeah, just a little question. And I watch very carefully all the promos and advertisements for 6ABC. And what is more effective in reaching your audience? The short 5 or 10-second promos with 1-second clips, or the longer ones, which, 15 seconds, I think, was Benjamin Franklin?
The answer is whatever it takes. When someone on my team says, is this 30 or 15? I'm like, I don't know, you tell me. It depends on what the target audience is, what the message is, what you're trying to accomplish. There's, every creative idea has to find its own way, and it lands where it lands. Just got to make the best decision you can. But you can't predetermine that I'm going to make, like that spot where the people were drawing on the wall. That was supposed to be just a one-day stunt, but it evolved into something else. The creative finds its own way. I appreciate everyone. It's been a ride. Thanks.
Let's hear it from Mike. Wonderful.